The iPhone 15 Pro Max is one of the most interesting smartphone and the most amazing smartphone that the industry has seen in the year 2023, and in fact this is the only smartphone that I have recommended to all of my friends and family. It is not a mediocre phone like the Google Pixel 8 Pro which is too slow, or the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra which has got a great hardware but a disappointing set of camera setup. Again, it has a very good camera setup, but it is just limited by how Samsung is tuning the device in terms of the image quality and processing. In fact, I would say iPhone 15 Pro Max is the only smartphone that I see improving every year, and the only phone that I always recommend to the people once again. But as we know, technology is constantly evolving, and if you do not keep up with it, you might miss out on the latest feature. And that is the main reason that I'm making this video, that why I feel like the iPhone 15 Pro Max is missing a few features. And here are the top 5 things that I wish that my iPhone 15 Pro Max could have in the year 2023. Now, the first thing that I think could be improved on the iPhone 15 Pro Max is how the optics work on this smartphone. Again, before you start commenting and disliking this video, hear me out. The iPhone 15 Pro Max has got an incredible camera with a 1 by 1.28 inches sensor and 1.22 micron M pixel. If you know that what is the best technology in the terms of the camera right now in the market, when we talk about the smartphones, you would know that Vivo is still leading with 1 inch sensor that is coming straight from Sony, and those are the sensors that I would want to see in the Apple iPhones as well. If Apple could use the Sony IMX 989 on the phone, it would be a game changer. This sensor is a state of art 1-inch sensor, as I said again, that has a stunning resolution of 50.3 megapixel and a pixel size of 1.6 micron M. Now imagine if companies like OnePlus and Vivo are able to bring similar technology in the market, and we already know that the camera science, the technology and the color accuracy on those camera smartphones is not as good, because again it is all about the raw data that the company has in order to tune that camera sensor, and we already know that Apple is able to do the same thing with a smaller sensor. So if Apple had a bigger sensor on their smartphone, I think it would be a game changer, and that would be the point where Apple would be able to beat even the Google Pixel 8 Pro, that again does not have the best camera sensor, but the amount of quality, the amount of detail that that camera smartphone is able to produce, it is just amazing. Again, it is just because of the raw data that Google is pulling to be able to make that image look very good on those smartphones. Now, it would be like having a DSLR camera in your pocket, but even better, because the iPhone 15 Pro Max also has got the neural engine and the A17 Pro Bionic chip, which enables it to run the advanced AI algorithms that enhance the photos and the videos even further. Apple has already shown us that how this camera can adapt to different focal lengths, and the difference is noticeable. But with the Sony IMX 989 sensor, the difference would be even mind-blowing. Think about it, Apple. This is what we want, and this is what should be the standard in what we have in the market right now, rather than putting a super camera sensor on the latest flagship smartphone. And you already know that you have the best color science in the market right now, and if you can just pull a 1-inch sensor, that would be the only thing that people would want in the year 2023. Now, that's all I have to say about the camera, but there is another important area where I think Apple can do even better, and that is generative AI. And yes, I'm talking about the features that the Google Pixel 8 Pro already has, and you also know that how impressive all those features are. And again, it makes me feel that iPhone is just lacking in all those features, and the generative AI thing, that is the most trending thing in the year 2023. And again, things will be even better in the coming years, and that would make the iPhone 15 Pro Max just feel like a slouch. And that is why I would want iPhone 15 Pro Max to have more generative AI features, and that is lacking in this year. Apple has been neglecting the Photos application for just too long, and I think it's a time they add some simple but useful features like the photo unblur feature, the magic eraser, and the background noise remover. I'm not asking for the magic editor, because that's just taking out your own face and the background. I want some features that make sense, like the ones on the Google Pixel 8 Pro but with a better performance. Apple has the advantage of having the Pro chips in their smartphones, which are the most powerful ones in the market, and they can handle the complex tasks on the device itself rather than relying on the cloud. I hope that Apple listens to this and bring all those useful features to the iPhone 16 Pro Max the next year. We already saw the glimpse of all those things happening on the watch itself on the Apple Watch Series 9, and the same thing could be done on the Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max as well. Again, I wanted these features on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and that was my wish list, but I would want Apple to implement the very same the next year in their next iPhone. Now, the next obvious thing that I think that Apple could have pulled this year was a faster charging on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and that just remains something on my wish list on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And again, this year it just comes with a 20 watt of charging. That is not enough in comparison to what we have with the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and it is even slower than the Google Pixel 8 Pro. That is not the best one in the market. We already know that the OnePlus is having smartphones with 65 watt, and we also have some other smartphones that are again more than 100 watts of charging that is enabled on the device. Apple has been neglecting this, and I really wish that Apple could have included this feature at least on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now, the audience is not stupid. They know this is not a feature to be postponed. This won't make people buy the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Just do it and get it over with without any lies and excuses. Apple Android phones have had this feature for years, and if a beginner company like OnePlus could do this a long time ago, then why can't Apple? I want this feature on the iPhone 15 Pro Max because this phone is just not reliable. It may just die off before the end of the day, and sometimes there may be situations where I'm outside, or maybe say next day I want to go to the work and I just forgot to charge my iPhone in the middle of the night or before the end of my day. So the next day while I'm driving, I just do not have navigation on my phone, and I just need to rely on my own senses to drive and reach myself to the work, which is just not something that I would want from Apple. I just want a faster charging to be enabled, that even if I forget to charge my smartphone in the middle of the night or the end of the day, I just plug that smartphone for 10 minutes and I get like about 50% of the battery on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. That is really the current standard that we have in the market right now, and that is why I have added this thing to my wish list. This one is the biggest complaints that I have with iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I hope that Apple can fix it soon. Please give us 65 watts, if not 100 watts of charging on the iPhone 16 Pro Max the next year. Apple. Now, the fourth thing that I really wish that iPhone 15 Pro Max could have was a better design, and let us just admit it. The smartphones are just getting boring and boring, and in this day and time, all the smartphones just look very similar to one another without any inclusion of some latest trendy features like the one that we have on the Nothing smartphone, that is again a new company. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the design on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. It looks sleek and refined, but it also looks boring. Ever since the iPhone 11 Pro, all the iPhones just look the same, with the only difference being the shape of the frame. I want more aesthetics and more experimentation. I want a phone that just looks like the Nothing smartphone in the market. It amazes me how Carl P has envisioned the company, and the semi-transparent look on the modern smartphones make the most sense to me. It might not appeal to everyone in the market, but we can adapt, and I think we need to appreciate the modern design rather than sticking with the same old look. I wish Apple could make a transparent iPhone with all those Easter eggs just like the ones that we have seen on the Nothing smartphones. And again, a barely new company that has just launched their first smartphone 2 years ago. If that company can do the very same, then Apple has got all the staff, all the people, and all the engineers in the world, all the user interactive designs, and all that community that may help them to build a better smartphone than the Nothing phone. And that is the truth. Right now, I'm comparing Apple with something that is barely new in the market, and that is what I wanted the iPhone 15 Pro Max to come with as well. But again, I would speculate and I would wish that Apple could make at least a special edition of the devices in the future that may be cherished and may be more loved by the people around the world in the coming years. Now, on to the final thing that I wish that the iPhone 15 Pro Max could come with was a better bundling of how the device comes and is shipped to the owner of that smartphone. Now, this is a trend that we have seen in the recent years, that whenever you buy a new smartphone, all you get is just a cable in the box, and apart from that, you just do not get anything. Do you remember those old days of the Nokia N97 that we had in the market? You got everything you needed in the box to enjoy all those features. Apple and other companies are just taking away more and more things from their smartphone boxes. Apple has got a faster Type-C port on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but the cable, it just does not provide the support for it. There is also no charger, which is another thing that this came on. Just look at Anchor Apple. This company is able to make some really compact smartphone chargers that can fit inside of the box as well, and I do not think that it would cost a lot of money if you put those charger inside of those box. You do not need more space to put a charger in the box. You can make some small chargers. If your concern is about going green and protecting the environment, make your iPhones modular so that every year people could buy components and not the whole smartphones. That would save a lot of money, and that would be the go green plan. Or if you're just concerned about the environment and you want to ship these phones without a charger and a better cable, then at least make the iPhones cheaper and not more expensive every year. That was really the last thing that I wanted Apple to include on the iPhone 15 Pro Max this year that they just did not. I just want a box to have all those accessories that are required for a smartphone to at least utilize all the features that a smartphone has in that very year. With iPhone 15 Pro Max, you gave us some amazing features, but you did not provide us the accessories to make use of that. You just want us to pay more to be able to buy those accessories. That was not the way how the smartphone industry used to work a few years ago. Again, giving the example of the Nokia 97, it had all the accessories in the world to be able to use all those features that that smartphone used to come in that very specific year. But again, iPhone just does not do it, and that is why I included this thing in this video. Just give us a box with at least a specific cable that you can use on the latest device, and even at least a charger. That would be the best thing in this world. Well, that's my wish list, and that is all that I wanted the iPhone 15 Pro Max to come in this year. But again, we just do not have all those things that are available on this device. But we can do one thing. If you have something in the wish list, you can comment in the comment section below, and I may feature a comment in one of my upcoming videos, and I may make a new video just like one, including all the things that you wish the device to come with, and maybe Apple sees that video, and maybe those features are coming on the next or the newer iPhones that we would have in the future. So well, that was all that I wanted to share in this video. My name is Anshul. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.